Late in the afternoon, Israel time, it appeared as though the second front was opening up. There was what appears now to be Hezbollah testing the IDF. They put up a bunch of drones to ping off the IDF's radar signatures to see what the IDF response would be like to Hezbollah launching in a major attack from the north. Chris was up there during that time and joins us now from back on post in Tel Aviv. Boy, you really do understand when you're there on the ground, don't you, Chris, how close all the geography is?
Yeah, this is a small place, and you're making a very good point for the audience about range. Hezbollah is a much more sophisticated force than Hamas, and they have sophisticated weapons that can reach anywhere. So when our screens lit up today with the air raid warnings, that was an introduction into a potential future of a significant second front war. Now, Israel is trying to play catch up here and has divided significant forces up in the north as well as in the south to hopefully not get caught like they did last week.
Yeah, we made the point earlier, if you look at where sort of Gaza is down here and then Hezbollah up to the north, 150,000 rockets and missiles, precision munitions that can reach critical infrastructure and the like. What I'm interested in is you've been talking to Israelis, specifically the IDF, there's a theory out there, right, that Iran does not want to play the Hezbollah card because once they do, they give up their insurance policy. Of a first strike against Iran's nuclear facilities, a decapitation strike against the Ayatollah and the like. And I think you saw this, right, that in a way for Iran and for Hamas, having Israel prepare for a second front war and having to have all of those troops up in the north is almost as good as fighting a second front war.
I think that's a good point. And, you know, it's part of the frightening unknown here. Look, Iran is obviously behind this. You also have to remember the egos involved. Hezbollah doesn't want to be left out of this. They don't want Hamas's name to be in the mouths of the international community. They want to own this antipathy against Israel. That's their mission. Israel is their main enemy. This is a terrorist organization that wants to do just that. And now that, you know, our audience is waking up, that there is no hype behind the savagery here, watching your last interview with that very brave I-24 reporter, I think they're making a mistake not putting out images of the children. Beheading children, attacking the pregnant and the elderly is different than conventional warfare and what is happening in Gaza right now. People should know. People are dying in Gaza right now as a result of Israeli retaliation and strikes. There are probably kids in there. There are probably women in there. I think it's impossible to avoid that. But that doesn't make this an equivalent situation. This is because of what Hamas did, continues to do, and now the big X factor is still the captured, not hostages. Hostages are people who are taken for security and treated a certain way and used a certain way. We have no reason to believe that that's what's happening with Hamas. And all evidence is to the contrary. And Hamas, very importantly, they love to talk. They have not come forward and said anything to suggest any level of decency or humanity in the treatment of the people they have stolen.
No, they have not. And look, I would make the point, and I think a lot of people in Israel would as well, that the suffering of the Palestinian people and the civilians inside Gaza, which is very real, is brought about much more by Hamas than it is by Israel, and a lot more by Egypt, which certainly could do a lot for the civilians inside Gaza. Chris, I'm glad you got over there. I'm looking forward to your reports from the north as well, and I know you're going to get down south in the coming days. We'll talk soon. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.